Hello, my name is Matt Roberts. I'm the Senior Technical Staff Member for the IBM Cloud Pak for Integration. And in this short video, I'll give you an introduction to the AI Insight-driven API test generation that we delivered as part of the recent IBM Cloud Pak for Integration 2021.2.1 release. So to set the scene, let's talk a little bit about why we invest in testing. I hope this is obvious to everyone, but obviously we're looking to identify errors in our application so that we can prevent regressions from occurring in the future and build overall quality. But also we're looking to accelerate that future software development because testing gives us the confidence to make changes and be able to prove that we haven't broken the existing behavior for current users. So let's talk about how this applies in a modern enterprise using APIs. So in an API-based system, we have client applications that are invoking the API through an API gateway, which allows us to enforce access control, security, rate limiting, etc. as the request enters the system. And there are tools such as API Connect, Test and Monitor that allow you to author tests against the gateway and to automate the running of those tests. But these tests are based on an external view of the API, and they're unable to search out the potential errors or weak points that arise for the internal implementation of the API. And with the increasing adoption of microservices and component-based architectures, the internal implementation of the API typically involves a network of interactions between lots of different services that are not visible to the external consumer. And additionally, the path that any individual client request takes through that system is critical to understand so that you can verify that same path with your test system, whether that be using a faster set of endpoints for premium customers, choosing a different shipping provider based on the delivery location or the order value, or even routing a request to another store if it's out of stock locally. So the rich pattern of interactions behind the gateway meaning that it's vital to test the interactions between those components as well as just verify the behavior of any individual component in isolation. Testing the network of interactions between components is time-consuming and difficult, but we think it's an area that's ripe for automation, by which we mean the ability for the computer to intelligently carry out much of the hard work so that the human developer can focus their time on the higher value tasks. So with the AI Insight-driven API test generation feature, we're using closed-loop automation insight to detect gaps between real-world production workload patterns and existing test cases in order to identify and create higher quality tests with less manual intervention. So how does this work in practice? And there are 4 key steps. Firstly, we're going to gather the API invocation and open trace telemetry from production workload to identify the real-world usage patterns. Secondly, we'll collect the equivalent telemetry data from a test environment by running the existing test workload, and then combine these together using built-in machine learning to detect the gaps between the test workload and the real production workload, which enables us to automatically generate new test cases to address the identified gaps. To give an illustration of what this looks like to the user, we'll start with a test suite in the Test and Monitor tool, which drives the analysis of the telemetry data from the production system and the test system, and generates a set of insights indicating where there are gaps in the current test cases. We can then add a new test case, which is populated with the basic structure of the required test and markers indicating where the human developer should add details of the implementation that can't be filled in automatically, which results in a finished test that we can run as part of our updated test suite. Thank you for watching this short video about the AI Insight-driven API test generation feature in the IBM Cloud Pak for Integration. If you'd like to find out more, you can find detailed instructions at ibm.biz/aitestgen and a link to a free trial of the Cloud Pak for Integration at ibm.biz/try-cp4i. You can also tune in to our next video for a live demo of the API test generation feature in action.